evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Daniela Fayola, and I'm the Assistant Director at the Bunker Center for the Arts, where tonight we proudly present E. Lewis with her brilliant show, Our Ancestors' Unfinished Stories in America on the Line. And TJ and I had seen her show at the Black Archives in Mid-America in Kansas City, and we knew it had to come here. And this needs to travel around the country. So, anyhow, I'd like to introduce E. Lewis. She is an insanely talented textile artist. She brought us a really incredible installation, and she's a great storyteller, and I'm so proud of this show, and I'm so honored to be able to curate it with her. E. Lewis, thank you!
Thank you, Daniela, and also thank you, TJ, for allowing me into your space. Before we get started, I would like to ask permission from my elder in the room to speak. Thank you. So yes, my name is E. Lewis, and I'm honored to be here. I stepped into this place probably a year ago in the bunker, not realizing the potential that was in this little small gym right here in Kansas City. And it was a group that I was with, and I met Daniela and we spoke. And I remember driving by one day and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And she said, "You ready to move into your space yet?" And I was like, "Well, hell yeah." And that was all she wrote. So I am honored to be here. I'm honored to have an opportunity to create in honor of my ancestors' journey to and in America. For those who did not get the chance to make it over to the Black Archives, if you're wondering who is E. Lewis, please let me take a minute to explain to you who she is. E stands for excited, encouraged, empowered every single day. Lewis is my father's last name. My father did not ask for my mother's hand in marriage, and that's okay. But I love that man dearly. So I thought I'd take time out to honor my father, who fought in World War II. I lost my father at a young age, at the age of 13, and that was devastating for me. And I never took time out to honor my father in the way that I needed to. So again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you to the Bunker. Thank you to the Black Archives Mid-America for allowing me to host my very first exhibit. And it is an honor to do that right here in Kansas City. Again, the title of this exhibit is called Our Ancestors: Unfinished Stories in America on the Line. Just to give you a little history of how that even came back. I had my proposal. I went over to the Black Archives, and a lady by the name of Miss Quincy Bennett said, "Just go ask Dr. Carmelita if you can do an exhibit." So I walked in proudly with my portfolio and asked her if I could do a presentation. Of course, she said yes. So when I walked in, take note, it was amazing when I had the opportunity to do that. Now, in my mind, I just knew I was going to do my exhibit in October. That was the plan. I didn't get a chance to do it at the time, but it was okay. She said, "You can come in November." That gave me a little bit more time to get myself together, which I thought was amazing to do. I was instructed to shut myself off for 21 days, and I did. Within those 21 days, I focused on my artwork. Within those 21 days, I exit out everything else and only thought about what did I want to create to assist people with seeing. You see, we're going to cry a little bit, we're going to connect a little bit, and we're going to communicate a whole lot. You see, there's an underline to this story, because what you see right now, you just see clothes on the line. But the underline to this story, it talks about lynching as well. That's what the posts represent. That's what the rope represent, because my ancestors were lynched because of the color of their skin. And in case you all are not aware, there's a little piece of cotton up there in the corner as well. That represents my grandmother. You see, my grandmother picked cotton. And because of her and everyone else picking cotton, I now have the opportunity to create with cotton. And I think that is a beautiful thing. I'm going to share a story from a lady I've been doing research about. And we'll share it when we get a little bit more into the presentation and you see some of the textile work. But again, I want to tell everyone, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everyone who prayed for me. Thank you for everybody who fed me. Special shout out to Ron Red and Selena O'Neill. You guys knew I was hungry. Sister was hungry, and I'm still hungry. I found out what a starving artist really means, and nobody told me. I wish somebody had told me what it really means. It means you hungry all the damn time. Like, I'm hungry, but you're hungry mentally, physically, spiritually, to create and have an opportunity to tell a story. So again, thank you all for tuning in. It is an honor, and I hope that everything that I say assists you. It is about engaging you, empowering you, and educating you tonight. So again, thanks to the Bunker for allowing me to have an opportunity to host this exhibit. So if you guys will follow me, we can start it. The pieces here on this wall I love, and there was a thought process in getting them done. Of course, you see the fist, and everybody loves the fist because it means black power. But what a lot of people fail to realize before we even got to the word black power, it was my ancestors that were holding up their fists so they wouldn't get whipped in the face. It was my ancestors just crying because of the whipping that was up against their bodies. It was my ancestors because they had to shield and protect themselves. That's really what that fist means. I wrote a piece for this, and please understand it. It's titled, I'm born with smooth, cinnamon, cocoa brown skin, but in America, I'm called black. You see, the stitching on it, I made very sure that I stitch it to the T. You see, the stitching in it represents the wounds that were healing from the beatings that they took. The red represents the blood that was shed. And the polka dots represents the tears that were captured every single night on the ground. Each one of my pieces, I put a white pearl in the left-hand corner in honor of my mom. My mother was left-handed. She would write with her left, but she would do everything else with her right. And I'm thinking, how is she writing with her left and doing with her right? So when it comes to one of them sock me movements, I was waiting on the left hand so I can duck, but she hit me with the right. So I'm honoring my mom and telling her just thank you for everything she's taught me. And we're going to talk about more of her as well. This piece here, Black Lives Matter. I didn't want to do this piece, but Mr. Ron Chaney told me, Karen, you need to do a piece. And so I did. This piece is titled, Love the Colored Hearts. Love colored hearts. The black represents the darkness of the night of them running. The red represents the blood that they shed. And the yellow represents them looking and calling out to God, the Son of God, in the sunlight. But the green represents the leaves in the trees that held the branches at night. And the polka dots represents the 30,000 teeth that circled in the sea around the ship. This piece is really powerful. I love it, and it means a lot. And of course, I had to put a pound sign because everything is pound, hashtag. But it's in music because there's music in everything. And I was honored that I did this piece because of Mr. Ron Chaney had inspired me. Mr. Ron Chaney was my mentor, my teacher, my coach. And it really hurt when he passed away because I really wish he was here. I know he's spiritually here, but I would love to just hear his voice one more time and say, come on, Karen, you got this. So Mr. Ron Chaney, thank you so much for being my teacher, my mentor, my role model, and helping me launch my art career. If you guys will follow me, I'll take you up with you as well. A is for Africa, the beginning and the end. This piece right here, I love the colors. I love the blue. When you come down to the bunker, please take note. When you come, you do have to schedule an appointment first. Don't just think you can just walk up in here. That ain't going to happen because of COVID-19. You have to schedule an appointment first. Go to the Facebook page, schedule an appointment, let them know because we just want to be on the safe side. But this piece right here, it was awesome. I did a little one, and it was called Motherland. So I want to thank the collector, the private collector that purchased that piece. I thank you so much. When that piece was purchased, I said, okay, now I know I can go bigger. So when you come, you'll notice that there are strips of blue. This was 37 strips of fabric that I had to sew together first. And then I kept sewing them together and sewing them together because I wanted you to see the rippling of the sea and how it created this beautiful blue background. I wanted to do Africa in colors because that's all I see when I see African stories is colors. I wanted to represent the tribes that were in Africa, where people fail to realize they were tribes, humans, before they made their way to America. So this piece again is called A is for Africa. I think that's why I gave my kids A names, because when you call them by their name, they don't come. When you say A, everybody comes. So A is for Africa, and I love this piece. This piece right here is titled Unknown Seas. They didn't know nothing about that sea. Nothing about that sea when they were traveling. And it had to be hard on them. I'm going somewhere that I haven't did research. I'm going somewhere that I don't know anything about. I'm going somewhere that I don't even care or want to even have the opportunity to go. So I named this piece The Unknown Seas because they travel across the sea. This piece right here I love, after I've been doing some research and reading, and I found out that some of my ancestors were thrown from the ship because it was too many of them, or because they had died, but because of insurance. When you think of 12.5 million human beings shipped from Africa, that's a lot of people. So this piece is titled Looking for the Sun and the Sun of Life. As they were thrown. It represents the death. It represents the healing process. It represents this transition and going back. I'd rather go here than have to go there, where I'll know I'll be protected at. So again, this piece is titled Looking for the Sun and the Sun of Light. And when people get mad and they say the sun ain't out, yeah, the sun is out. Both the suns. The Son of Jesus Christ, which is God's Son, and the sunlight. They're out every day. Every day they're out. This piece is titled Connected by Chains. You see, because they were connected by chains when they were on the ship. Bracelets that they didn't even purchase. Bracelets that they didn't even want. Connected to someone that they didn't even know. But I want to be an exciting piece as well. So when you have the opportunity to tell the story, you can say, these are my ancestors as they were connected on the ship. The brown represents them riding on the ship. The red represents them bleeding on the ship. The cream represents the bones that were connected on the ship. And the stitching, I want to make sure the stitching represents their heartbeats, why they were connected on that ship. Some beats were probably beating fast, some beats were probably beating slow, and some beats just stopped beating at all. As I was talking earlier about them connecting and how you hear that they've been thrown from the ship, this piece right here is titled Slaves' Unmarked Graves. And it hurt when I did this piece, but I knew I had to get the story out there. One of my creative ancestors, I tell you, that girl, she was powerful. When I get to meet her, I'm just going to just sit and just ask her questions and not speak. Because whoever she is, she has geared me, she has powered me, she has taught me to have the ability to create. As Nina Simone would say, as an artist, it is my divine duty to express. You see, as artists, we don't have to say anything. Our artwork speaks for us. Matter of fact, it says what you can't say, which I love more than anything. As artists, I'm going to say that again. As artists, we have the duty to express what other people can't say through our art. So when you think about slaves' unmarked graves, there's a lot. Think of Miss Zora Neale Hurston. She was just buried somewhere, barely even had a marked grave. So these are all beautiful pieces. Yes, there is yellow because there is life, and there is gray, which represent the happiness, but there's the black that represents the death. This piece over to my right, I love also. It was purchased by a private collector, so thank you to the private collector. Believe it or not, this piece started, oh my God, at least 120 inches by 40. That's how it started. And I bought the fabric at Joann's. Thank you, Joann's. Bought the fabric at Joann's and just kept sewing. So this is the before the ship I'm gonna show you. This was really just a test dummy, not realizing. And it hung in my studio for at least 2 months before it got to this stage. This piece is titled 1724. 1724 Freedom. And I made it in the shape of a square because I didn't want to call it what it should be called, because I want you to go do your research. Do a research, write down 1724 and write freedom. It was a day of rest. It was on a Sunday. It's a city down north that everybody likes going to. Okay, I gave you too much information. I'm gonna stop. But I want you to go and see that. This piece was amazing because what it done for me is it let me know how people of different shades can come together to create art, to create beauty, to have understanding, to have a conversation. And no matter what they are, when they come together, they create beauty, connection, conversation, story time, and nobody could stop them. So again, 1724, freedom is what I call this piece. So again, thanks to the private collector who saw this piece, loved it, and I'm honored that it will be a part of your home decor or a part of your private collection. Let's go and have a conversation in the other. This piece is over here was so fun, and they were awesome to do, and I'm glad I had the opportunity to do them. These pieces, and on my left and on my right, and we'll start with the ones on my right, on my left first. This piece right here is called, and please take note, these are African symbols. This piece is called Confidence, because I knew I had to have confidence to do what I'm doing, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to do that. Confidence is what it's called. The orange, the blue, and the brown, I love this. This is called, I call this time for a change. It's time for a change, y'all. It's okay. Everything doesn't have to be the same way all the time. Change. Because if you look real deep, it's an hourglass. If you even look closer, you'll see the blue moon and the blue sun. Because they're all on a time change. They change. The time always changes. So it's called time change. Again, as you can see, there are a lot of strips, different oranges of fabric. I didn't want to do all the same thing. I found out that I'm not normal, and I love not being normal. It's a good thing. This piece right here is called Accept God, No Fear. Nina Simone, quote unquote, what is freedom? No fear. Again, what is freedom? No fear. We're going to swing on around because we don't want you to get this little sneak peek of this other piece. So we're going to swing on around. I love it. Danielle's dancing with her camera. I love it. And just take note, me and Danielle has been up for 2 days to midnight, so we're a little hyped because we ain't been asleep.
3 a.m.
Yeah, so if you see my eye closed, it's because I'm trying to get a nap in. But thanks, Daniela, for being up with me till midnight to install and get this together.
Thank you.
So this piece over here, so you saw 1724. This is, I don't even want to call it the scrap. This is like the leftover paint from 1724, which I love. This piece is titled, Follow the Blue Creek to the Log Cabin. That's all you gotta do. And it's a simple story. Stay on your path to get to your journey. That's basically what this means. Stay in your lane and mind your business to get to where you need to be. So again, this piece is titled, Follow the Blue Creek to the Log Cabin. As you notice, there's other log cabins. That one is titled, Find the Log Cabin with the Black Door. Look for follow the blue moon to the orange cabin. And last but not least, on the end, that one is titled, Follow their brown footprints to the cabin. The red represents the blood they shed, the blue represents the water they crossed, and the brown represents their skin tones. So follow the blue creek to the log cabin. I love this little series. It's really cute. And please take note, when I first did a log cabin, I screwed it all up. And then I said, I got to teach myself how to do this, not always necessarily have to use a pattern. And I'm glad that I was able to do that. And I'm glad that I can take another piece of fabric to create another piece of fabric, which I think is awesome more than anything. So with that being said, how about if we now go into the she shed? The she shed, let me tell y'all something. The she shed is where it all goes down. The she shed is where I shut the door. Let me say that again. The she shed is where I shut the door and protect my oil. That is what my pastor told me Sunday, the whole congregation. I think he was just talking to me. That's how I'm going to take that. It was like, shut the door and protect your oil. I did that for 21 days. 21 days led to 30 days. I did not thumb text. I didn't do anything that I wasn't supposed to do, that I did not feel that was going to assist me with moving forward. I just didn't do it because I thought it was a waste of time. And all I listened to was some Nina Simone. Got a little Kim in there too. Oh, I'm having a moment. But you have to, when you want to get somewhere, do it. Here's my thing is, before we go to the she shed, don't wait till 2021 to make a decision to do something. Do it now. Because guess what? 2021 may not show up for you. Don't do it in 2021. Do it now. Prepare yourself for 2021, 2022. Go on and get down. Give yourself 21 days to figure out what you're going to do or put it in process. And I guarantee you, baby, it's going to be amazing. Because if I can do it, you can too. Come on, let's go in that she shed now. Woo! Welcome to the she shed. Look here. This is where I can put my purse down. This is where I can take the gloves off. This is where we can have that girl conversation, connect and communicate. Right here in my she shed. Please take note. My she shed started when I was probably like about 7 years old. And it happened when my mom would pull me to the sewing machine with her. And my mom would sit me in her lap and place my little hands on top of her hands. My feet could barely even touch the flap, and all I heard was this machine sewing, not realizing that each seam had a story behind every piece of fabric. Didn't even realize that. So to watch my mom sit there and sew up something to create something for somebody to wear, that is amazing. We need to go back and teach our young girls and young boys how to be creative with their hands and their minds. And not always thumb texting. If your phone ain't making you money, you don't need it. Let me say that again, because somebody probably didn't get that. If your phone ain't making you money, you don't need it. Use it to help you build yourself. Use it to help you educate yourself. Use it to help you to get to the next level. How about you use it just to assist somebody down on their bad luck? You see, my mom would pull me at that sewing machine, and it was always by a window. So this piece that's in the window is called Sunday Morning, because my mom would sew on Saturdays and Sunday mornings. And I think she just wanted to see what she was sewing. Really, I think she was just nosy. But I thought that was a beautiful thing to watch my mom just sew, and I'm honored to pick it up. I didn't want to sew clothes. I thought that was the worst thing ever. I'm not going to lie to you. I look here. If I had to sew up a pair of pants, one leg, both legs be on the same side. They wouldn't be together. It'd just be, yeah. Anyway, my mom was so magical at that machine. That is my mom's tape measure. I remember my mom measuring my waistline and would get so mad. Because, when you're young, everything is, that's when you was a zero, literally a zero. But I still have my mom's tape measure. The sewing machine is on loan, thanks to Lady Daniela. The sewing machine is on loan, and I'm glad to have it here. This is a mannequin that I used at my mom's celebration, and of course, this is my mom. And I used it at her celebration. And at my mom's celebration, I had everybody to say the word mom. And then I told them to turn the word mom upside down. And now you got wow. You see, because moms are wonderful, obedient women. That's what my mom was. So that is how my she shed came about, because I wanted to go back and look and feel like it was when I was a kid. This piece over to my right, this piece is titled, What Size? Because girls, you already know. Somebody always gonna ask you, what size you wear? It ain't none of your business what size I wear. It ain't your size. That's how I feel about it. But because of COVID right now, we all the same size. I love that part. This piece is titled, What Size? And as you can see, the colors are just everywhere. They're everywhere. Because that's life. We need to be colors. Just bring colors into our life. Let's just have fun. I want it to be a conversation about the dress. The connection of the dress. All the pieces are finished to serge or seam. Because my mom taught me how to serge, and I thought that was beautiful. And the reason why I just serged everything and not framed it, because I want you, when you purchase your piece, you have an opportunity to share the story. Remember, it's unfinished stories. So when you're at your home and you're talking about this piece, or you take it and you get it framed, which is Honey. Let me go and drop that on Honey. Thank you, Honey. Honey assisted me with getting a lot of stuff done. I honor her. Thank you, Daniela and TJ, for telling me about her. Ron Chaney. Thank you for telling me about her. I didn't know nothing about stretching. I thought that was when you got up in the morning. Didn't know it related to artwork, to give it a flawless finish around the edges. So this piece is, girl, in my mind, what size? Over to my left, this piece is my point of view. Let me show you. See? My point of view. I took the picture of this here at the bunker. I came to see Lady Laura's exhibit. So Lady Laura, if you're listening, I got it done. It took me a year to get this done. I played with it. I set it aside. I played with it. Lady Laura, when I saw this piece, she paints in solid colors. Well, with my non-normal brain, I said, hey, Lady Laura, can I take a picture in front of your piece and turn it into fabric? And she was like, yes. So take note, everywhere you see there's a printed fabric, that was a solid paint, and I just went in and just colored it all in. And I thought it was the cutest thing. Now, how I got my hair like that, that ain't your business. Just take note. That's my hair pent up. Can't tell you all my secrets, but I'll share that one with you. And I love that piece more than anything. I thought it was beautiful when I finished it and gave it a little shape. And it's me, and it's cute. Like me. So, hey. Back over to my right, this piece right here is titled Grandma's Dress Pattern. You see, my grandma didn't have a McCormick. My grandmother didn't have a Vogue. My grandmother didn't have a Simplicity. My grandmother probably had scraps of other pieces of fabric. She probably had a burlap just to make the dress that she wanted. I thought this was the most beautiful piece when I got done. And I stitched all the way around it. but I had to make sure that I hand stitched it as well. As I was hand stitching it, it let me feel my grandmother to a certain extent. I really connected to my grandma. I remember my grandma had a quilt, and I'm telling you, with a quilt, you don't need pajamas at grandma's house because she put like 100 quilts on the bed. But it just felt good when I created this piece, and it just popped in my head. I think one night I took 2 pieces of cardboard, and I just drew the dress in the middle of the floor, just drew the dress. And then my daughter said, "Oh my God, Mom, I love that." And I was like, okay. And then I decided, what color do I want to do it? And these are the colors that I came up with to give it an age look. And I thought that was amazing. And even to give the sheer fabric of the top of it, to give it a little bit of more aging and a little bit more feel to it. So I love this piece. As you can tell, in this room, I angled everything because this is what my mom's house would look like. This is what our house looked like. It was fabric everywhere, stuff was hanging up, and that's what I want to do. And I also want you to have an opportunity of a vision of how it will hang in your home and not just up on the wall. Do something different. You got it. Just do it. And I think when we're so custom, we're all L7s. I didn't realize what that was till I did it. I was like, oh, that's an L7. I'm a circle. There is no completion. See, when you a square, there's a start, stop, both sides. I'm a circle, baby, all day. I don't want completion. I want to just keep going, keep learning, and keep understanding. I had a master artist that asked me, says, "Karen, wow, how did you come up with all this? Where was all this at?" And I said, "Oh, I have an 80-20 rule. I listen 80% of the time, and I only ask questions 20. Don't talk, just listen. 80-20 rule. You can't teach nothing that you ain't learned. You got to learn it before you can teach it. Don't L come before T? You have to learn before you can teach. It's real simple. This piece over to my left, powerful piece, especially for me. You see, my mother had this beautiful, big, dirty, brown afro. I remember in the 70s and the 80s, it was Afro-American. Power to the people. And what I remember most about that, and I don't mind, call me an Afro-American because that just represents my big old hair. My mother had this beautiful afro. And then my mom would start wearing these turbans and these wigs, and I didn't understand why she would hide it. And then one day I asked her, and she explained to me that she had developed alopecia. So this piece is in honor of my mom that had developed alopecia, that was ashamed of her hairless crown, and to all of the women who were dealing with alopecia. Sisters, let me tell you something. Hair or no hair, you're still a woman. Walk in the room like you created all 4 walls and the ceiling. And let somebody come up and ask you, "Excuse me, how can I assist you?" Keep your head up high, pull your shoulders back, baby, and be thankful that you have life today. Hair or no hair, you're still a woman. This piece over here is called Queen Blue. Queen Blue is the very first piece that I saw, so thank you, Kathy Webster, for buying this piece for your aunt. She said blue is her favorite color. I said, well, can I do what I want to do? She said, go right ahead. So this is Queen Blue. This is probably one of the very first pieces that I did of a series. More of them will come out. I love that piece. Everybody who purchases a piece that's 20 by 20 or smaller, I will give you a personalized carrying pouch to put your piece in to protect it as you're transporting. But Queen Blue is just, I mean, she's fun. She pops off. And if you only knew what instrument I use to do that, you'd be like, how in the heck? So please take note. This is paper. So she's made out of all paper. Her face is fabric, but her hair is all paper. It's all paper, and the rest is all fabric, which I love more than anything. That paper is amazing. I buy the paper at Arts Craftsman's, which is around the corner on Southwest Boulevard. They have some of the most beautiful paper. that I think is amazing. When I found that I can sew on paper, I'm like, okay, I'll take the paper. I'm cool with that. Love it! Love it. Queen Blue in the house, everybody. Queen Blue. Queen Blue, Queen Blue. Queen Blue, Queen Blue. I know. I'm having fun now, y'all. Sorry about that. And this is another face one. Danielle, what we call this one? I forgot. What's the name of this one?
Lady Rose.
Yes.
Right?
This is yes. So this here is Lady Rose, and let me explain to you how Lady Rose coming back. As you can see, I got a story for every piece. Like Danielle told you, I am a storyteller. Thank you to Mid-Continent Library, Joyce Slaughter, the National Association of Black Storytellers. Thanks to George. I mean, I have surrounded myself by some master storytellers. Thanks to Mid-Continent Library. Sharon, I'm going to graduate next year with my certification, but, you know, right now I love storytelling. Let me tell you what we call it again, Danielle? I forgot.
Lady Rose?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, Lady Rose. Okay, again, y'all, I've been up since 12 for 2 days. Lady Rose. So this is how Lady Rose came about. I got a phone call. I was only 23 years old. I get a phone call. And the phone call states, "May we speak to you?" And I said, "Well, yes, she. Well, we just want to let you know that you have breast cancer." I said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. Who you talking?" You know, and of course, you'd be like, "Who the hell?" Sorry, I know there's probably kids listening, but anyway, your parents cuss. But you'd be like, "Who the hell are you talking to?" Okay, thank you. Hung up the phone. Before I can even hang the phone up, they call right back and said, "Oh, sorry, wrong person. You don't have breast cancer." Whoa! You have cervical cancer. Like that made it any better. I had to have surgery like the next day. I had no symptoms, no nothing. So ladies, please get checkups. Something. When you're told after your surgery that they remove a golf ball, man, I ain't even swallowed gumballs that big. When you're told that, that hurts. And then when you're told that you probably won't have children, that hurts. But you see, I serve an awesome God. God knows my name. I have 2 beautiful daughters. And I have 2 beautiful grandchildren. So when you let go and you let God, anything's possible. So that's how, what's her name again?
Lady Rose.
This is how I like. The reason why I keep saying that because I want Daniela to say it because she says it's so cute. Lady Rose. Lady Rose was not supposed to come out, but Lady Rose did show up. So I'm glad Lady Rose is here. I hope that story that I just shared with you about Lady Rose inspires a woman, and women of all women. If you know someone, help another female. I don't even care if you don't even like her. Help her anyway. But that's how Lady Rose came about, and she's pretty like me. Is this my good side or either way? Anyway, it's all good. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna end this presentation. I have one final piece I would like to show you. So we're gonna end this presentation. So I really want you to listen, pay attention. Matter of fact, if you out there, you Facebook, call somebody and tell them to chime in like right now. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. Call somebody, tag somebody, chime them in, Facebook Live at the bunker, because I'm about to drop something on you that I hope that you would eventually love and respect. This is titled 1619, No Passport. You see, I created this piece in April 29th of 2020. It was a part of my storytelling group, and all we had to do was sit there and write. And I had another piece that was in the background, and somebody said, "Are you a quilter?" And I was like, "No." So it looks like it to me. So when the lady said that, they said, "Okay, we need everybody to start writing. Write for 5 minutes, write for 10 minutes, write for 15 minutes, and after we got done writing, we kept talking, right?" And I wrote this again in April 29th of 2020, and I titled 1619, No Passport. You see, when my ancestors were loaded onto the ship, no one asked them what their name was, first or last. No one asked them if they wanted a assigned seat. No one asked them, "Are you ready to take flight?" No one asked them if they wanted Coke, water, or tea. No one told them to take the face mask and put it on their mouths first before they assisted the person next to them. There was no seatbelt sign to say fasten in. There was not even a light to read during the flight. When they got off, there was no Uber. There was no hotel. There was no even luggage for them to carry. You see, because my ancestors came to America with nothing in their hands. All they had was what was in their minds. You see, because I am an heir of an ancestor that was created to allow me to create every single piece. As you look at the ship, you'll see the different shades of brown as they laid on the ship. The gray represents the chains that they were shackled to during the whole entire journey. The black represents the death on the ship. The wood represents the ship, and the blue represents the travel, the journey. Because of so much hatred we got going on right now, we're not even taking time out to love each other, respect each other, and care for each other. When are we going to stop the hate? You see, my ancestors were bit by dogs, kicked, spit on, put in jail. And now I'm at a time in my life where sometimes I'm verbally abused. You look at my resume and it looks good to you, but when you pull it down and you see my face, then you tell me the job has been taken. Man, if that's not a disgrace. And I'm okay with being verbally abused, just so my grandson can breathe. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for allowing me to assist you with exploring my creative ancestors' unfinished stories in America on the line.
Does anybody have any questions? Right behind you.
Do you want to go back to the interview? Oh, you want to go over by those two? We need to talk about those two. Okay. Or we can go back there. We'll close out with sun rays. This is sun rays and clouds. Beautiful piece. Because sun is beautiful. Clouds are beautiful. So this is sun rays, and this is the very first piece I had stretched. Someone said, "Hey, I want a yellow piece," and I said, "Okay, yellow." All right. I went to the store, showed her all the yellow I could find, and then she came back and said, "Oh, I want gray," and I was like, "Okay." So when I got done with it, she was like, "I really like that." So this was the inspiration of. So this one, as you see, sun rays. Believe it or not, that is how Slave's unmarked graves come about. So from this, that's how I created that. I don't believe in throwing away nothing. That is just totally impossible. I have bags and bags of scraps. But out of this, that's how expressions came about. And the collector for this is Miss Quincy Bennett. Thank you, Quincy. The mayor of Kansas City, Missouri. This piece belongs to her. Quincy, thank you for allowing me to have this piece here on display. But this piece is titled Expressions because I just wanted to express myself. I didn't want it to be right. I didn't want it to be normal. And that's another thing is, I was on the phone with one of my friends from Dress to Success, and she called and said, her daughter said, her art teacher said, "Hey, you got to do it this way. You got to do it this way." And so I think she said her daughter's name is Kayla. Baby, express yourself. Express yourself. Tell your story. Yes, still listen to what the teacher has to teach you. Because my mother went through the exact same thing. The teacher got mad because my mother knew what she was creating. So they put my mother out the class. Can you believe that? Because my mother just know a little bit more than you did, you put my mom out the class? So it's so crazy, and let me just take y'all back a little bit. My art game started when it started sewing, but when I got to school, my teacher, Miss Gwendolyn Cooks, oh my God, that lady taught me 7 mediums. 7. I had a master, a well-known master right now, and I said, "I know 7 mediums." He said, "Let me tell you something. You do one thing, you master that. You do this, you master that. Everybody ain't got to know everything what you do. Master, master, master. Learn, learn, learn. That's how you get to where you need to be." Then my other master I had was Mr. Billy Hayes at the Girls and Boys Club. If I wasn't in the art department, I was in the library just sucking up stuff. And I thought that was the most beautiful thing to do in the world. Just sit there and learn and get an understanding. And I couldn't stop learning. It was all about learning. And I'm glad I had an opportunity to do that. So are there any questions for me? Because your girl is hungry. Now, if somebody wants to bring us some food, bring me, Daniela, and TJ some food. Because we hungry. But are there any questions for me? I'm glad to answer if there's any questions.
How long do you usually take to do a piece about that size?
Woo! So, it'll take me almost, give or take, about 3 months, give or take, because I want to feel it. If I rush and do it, then it's going to look like I rushed. And that was something my mother taught me, is that you don't rush and do anything, because it'll show that you rushed. She also told me to make sure that your back seam looks as good as the front. And if your back seam don't look good, that means you didn't take time. 1619, no passport. I make sure that I left the back of that ratchet because I want you to see the whippings. I wanted you to see the stress that was on that ship. So that is the reason why it looked like that. And when we hung it up to do the photo shoot, here's the crazy part. I had to teach myself something new. It starts to serpentine now. And didn't realize it had started to serpentine because I was like, okay, something's wrong. Well, not knowing, because I'm still learning. I'm not a master. I'm trying to master my craft. I'm not a master like TJ and Daniela yet. Anyway, so what happened was, here's the crazy part. I found out you have to sew this away, sew that away, sew this away, sew that away. So it doesn't start to serpentine, but I'm glad I did. So I did a wrong for good, which I'm glad, because it looks like the ship is actually moving. So it'll take me almost 3 months, give or take. And that includes shopping finding thread, finding colors, sewing seam, and getting it stretched. So about 3 months, give or take.
Do you work on more than one piece at once, or do you start one and finish it and then start another one?
I try not to. I try to focus on one. I try to give as much love and attention to one. Now, it kind of just depends on what I see, and I think that's my problem right now, is that I'll see something and then I want to hurry up and do it, and then I got this one sitting, which I know I shouldn't do that, but I'm getting to where now it's like, it's okay to do that. It's okay, as long as I don't run out of thread, I'm good. I try to keep a stock of thread. Thanks to, let me give mad thanks to the sewing labs. There are times when I was just down and I can just go sit there and be in the safe haven of the sewing labs. So thank you, Lady Linza. Thank you, Lady Eileen, for letting me sit there. And thanks, mad thanks to the Missouri Sewing Machine Company. Let me tell y'all something. I've been going there since I was 7. Couldn't even see over the counter. Couldn't even see, now, because see over the counter, I got to pay for everything. But I think that is so good. So thanks to Robert at the sewing labs also. Southern Belle, he's supposed to be making me some chicken dumplings. He ain't made none yet, so now that y'all know, hopefully he'll make me some. But I try not to do multiple pieces at a time, but it just kind of depends. And I think I get it done. I think I focus more if I take my time and do one piece at a time, but it all just kind of depends. So, any more questions for the wise minds?
Just to let you know, Hannah from Joanna's is here.
Hannah? Oh, hey, Hannah! Hannah! Oh, let me tell y'all something. So Hannah, I go to Joanne's, right? So I go to Joanne's up North Berry Road. See that, Hannah? Make sure they give you a raise for this, because I got you, girl. So Hannah, I go in and I see this fabric, because we try to figure out how to make the lighting all nice and stuff, right? And so I go in and I see the price on this bolt. Now it's like 60 something, yardage wise. And I looked at the tag and it said $8.99 a yard. I said, maybe I'll get a yard and come back another day. But no, what happened was Hannah said, hey, I think it's on sale. And I said, come on now, Hannah. I said, Hannah, give me 4 yards. And I said, oh, come on, Hannah. Just go and make it 5. So Hannah, I love you. Thank you. It looked beautiful. And I love freaking Joanne. So to Joanne. Sorry, y'all. I'm not normal. I'm not one of those normal artists, y'all can tell. I just want to have fun. I just want to have fun. I want you guys to have fun too. Any other questions for me?
No, we're good.
If you want to come see the show in person, go to our Facebook page, and there's a book it now, I believe, book it button. Make your appointment. You really need to see this in person. We take social distancing and mask wearing very seriously here, so keep your noses tucked in, and we'll stay away from you while you're here. There's 10,000 square feet in this building, so we can stay away from you. If you want to see Karen's show online and shop her show, her entire inventory is on our website at thebunkercenter.com.
Yay!
Check it out.
Check it out. Did you hear what that yellow said? No, don't just check it out. Just go by. And can I leave one more point out? I'm sorry, but I just have to say this. You guys, please respect the artist's work. Please, please, please. I'm just going to say this. Y'all might not like it, and I really don't care. But respect an artist and their work. I'm sorry. Don't ask them for a discount, y'all. They're giving you their heart. If you let me tell you,
we're not running a used car lot.
let me drop this word on you. Love the art in my heart. Let me say that one more time. Don't nobody try to steal my line. Love the art in my heart. Because if you look at the word heart, it says art. When I go buy products, they don't give me discounts. And I have to buy by the yards. I don't believe in just getting a yard. I got to buy by the yards. But my thing is, even a painter, even a musician, you guys, you realize, you don't see the work and the time that we put in. You don't see the sacrifice that we're taking from their family. There's been times my daughter had to call me and say, can you come home, please? Thank you. Even to my best friend, I love you. I love you, Lisa D. I love you. Thank you so much for understanding. Thank you for everybody who I could not hang out. I love you, but I had to get this done. And here's my thing is, in my closing remark, I took a leap of faith. I mean, I literally took a leap of faith to get in this, because there was a time that I was not allowed and could not get in. I took a leap of faith. So for anybody out there, just take a leap of faith. You see, when you fall, you're gonna see your way back up. Regardless, you're gonna see your way back up. So this was a life-changing experience. It's just like the fourth quarter, 2 minutes in the game. Literally, 4 months, I had 2 minutes. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes to get this right. And I said, let me just go. And let people help you. If people want to help you, let them help you. Now, I may cost you. I'm just saying, you know, every now and then, just keep a jar of peanut butter and jelly in the car and say, hey, I can't pay you, but I can feed you. You know, people want to eat. But my thing is, let people help you. People will help you. And again, thanks to everybody. Mr. Ron Chaney, I love you. Thank you. Again, I wish he was here. Thanks to Ron Red, Selena O'Neill. Just thank you for everybody who has been there for me. Those that know, you know. Ain't nobody threw no food at the door to try to feed me yet, but that's okay too. But just thank you guys so much, wholeheartedly. Again, I hope you were engaged. I hope you were empowered. And I hope you got educated tonight. So again, thanks to the Bunker for allowing me to host my second solo exhibit, baby. Yeah! Okay, let me do my dance and then I'm out.
Hold on. Let's see the dance.
Let's do the dance. Get it. See, if y'all don't know nothing about that, you ain't ready, baby. That's how you get it. You gotta get it. I know I'm half 100 plus 3, but I'm having fun. I'm living my life because I'm building a legacy. That's what my goal is right now for this year. And thanks to Tova Tanner for putting that out there. She gave me a shirt and it says I'm building a legacy. And thanks to Tova Tanner and the missions that she's doing. Thanks to the city of Kansas City. Thank you. That's all, folks.
Hey, Laura's on. Look, Laura.
Hey, check this out. Laura, look. There's another lady I need to thank. Matter of fact, there's two. There's two more ladies I need to thank. And they are Mary Schmitten and Charlie over at the Shawneetown Museum and Sharon Rutledge. They inspired me. Let me tell you something. Mary can put on an outfit, vintage wear, and just make it look like $1 million. And so thank you so much, Lady Mary. I mean, she has donated clothes to me so I can do my storytelling. So Mary, Lady Sharon, Sir Charlie, they had a rooster named Duke over there that I love. I think Duke became gravy now, but it's all good. But thanks to Shawneetown Museum, thank you. And another thing, you know something? Let me make sure I end this thing. Thank you to the Australian Jazz Museum. That was the first place international that I flew to have an opportunity to tell a story, is the Australian Jazz Museum. And let me tell you something, that was an experience for me and I loved it. So mad thanks to everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you for those who've shed some tears with me. When like I told you, like Ida B. Wells Burnett. Do we have time so I can talk about Ida right quick? Okay, here we go. Ida B. Wells Burnett. Let me share the story with you about Ida B. Wells Burnett right quick, and how a lot of this all came back from me even building this whole exhibit. It came back to Ida B. Wells Burnett. And I'm just giving you a quick story. What happened? I sat on the train in the ladies' coach because that's where all the other ladies sat at. The Pullman came through and asked me for my ticket. So as a lady, I handed him my ticket. He handed it back to me and he told me I had to go sit in the back. I said, "Excuse me, sir, but I'd rather sit up here in this coach with the other ladies. Ain't I a woman?" Next thing I know, he placed his hand and tried to pull me up out of my seat. As a lady, I thought it was only right for me to fasten my teeth into the back of his hand. Next thing I know, another Pullman comes through, and so they're wrestling with me. Hell, I was only 120-something pounds. How you gonna wrestle with me? And everybody on the train was cheering them on as they put me off the train. And yes, I was very much embarrassed. So I decided to sue the railroad. I won $500. Of course, the Tennessee Supreme Court overruled, and I only won $300. You see, the underline to that story is, my money is green enough to buy me what I want or what I need, but my skin color is not good enough to be accepted in America. Ain't that something? Quote unquote from Miss Ida B. Wells Burnett. I guess I better die like a dog and a rat fighting than to give up at all. If you don't know the story about Ida B. Wells Burnett, and as she helped with the women in suffrage, because as you all know, 100 years marked this year. That woman was a powerful woman. They burned down her printing press because she was trying to tell a story about Negro men being lynched. She went overseas in 1893 and 1894 to let them know this is what's happening. You see, we're sending cotton overseas, but this is what's happening to the people who's picking it. Ida B. Wells Burnett. Even the day when she decided at the parade, they gonna tell Ida she had to march in the back. She says, "I ain't marching in the back." So what Ida decided to do, she ran to the side and waited till the parade started. They thought she left. She ran to the side and she waited. And as soon as the parade started, she ran to the front of the line, locked arms with the white women, and determined, I'm going to take a stand. I'm tired of you telling me I got to go to the back. I'm tired of you telling me I got to go to the back. Last time I checked before COVID-19 hit, we were all inhaling and exhaling the exact same air. Now you go inhale in the back. I just wanted to share you guys with that. Go research Ida B. Wells Burnett. That sister was powerful. And when I had the opportunity to do her story, let me tell you something. She showed up and she showed out. And it was amazing. In closing remarks, if there's any teachers out there, if someone knows a teacher, reconnect with me on Instagram at Art by E. Lewis. I would love to just come in and talk to your classroom via to educate, inspire, and engage your children. But other than that, y'all, come on, we got to make a difference. And don't wait till 2021. Do it now. Again, go to Facebook, schedule an appointment, come visit the exhibit, call first. Don't come down here first without asking. You got to ask now. You got to ask. But please follow them at Bunker, BUNKC follow them right here at the bunker. This is where it's going down. It's a diamond in the rough right here at 1014 East 19th Street. If you go underneath the bridge, you went too far. Thank you guys. See you later. Jack.
Thank you.
Thank you.